Hello, people. How is everyone today? Thank you so much for your comments on my concert ticket stubs video. I'm going to attempt to do a follow-up. I will say first off that I didn't sleep a wink last night. Just a combination of excitement about, the news about the record, just about being here. And I don't know what else it was, but I just could not sleep. So I'm dog tired. So we'll see if maybe I can be revived by talking about the music. I wanted to make one correction. I probably have more than one correction to make. When I saw AC/DC, it was with the cannons. For those about to rock, the cannons at the end. Shook the whole building. It was awesome. And the opening act for that show was Yngwie Malmsteen. And I loved watching him play guitar. Loved watching him play guitar. I also found it rather interesting that, he's one of the kind of guitarists that slings the guitar around, his shoulder with the strap, he's a showman. So he'll flip the guitar and it'll wing around his, head, and then he'll come back and play it. The strap came loose when I saw him, and the guitar went flying one of those times. He didn't stop. Of course, there was another guitar techie right there with another guitar ready to go. I thought it was interesting that would happen when I saw him, that he'd be flinging it and doing his thing, and sure enough, the strap lock came off, and there goes the guitar. His guitar playing was excellent. I thought the music, the songs were kind of, for my taste, were lame. And so I just really loved watching him play guitar. Okay, so I also wanted to explain that what I have left of ticket stubs is a fraction. Seriously, what I'm showing you is a fraction of the shows that I've seen. There's a lot of shows that I've seen where there were no ticket stubs. There were no tickets. Been to a lot of punk rock shows and a lot of club shows where there's no tickets. And I have a list, but I've forgotten shows. But let's see where this goes today. Okay, I'm gonna start where I left off, which is I stopped with a Black Flag show, and here's a different Black Flag show. I'm not sure what year this was, but it was Black Flag, Tuesday, June 10th, and 8:50 in advance. Black Flag every time were just awesome. And okay, a quick aside. Of course, I hung out with Henry after the show. One of the comments I got on my last concert ticket stubs was, how does one get backstage and meet all these people? I'm not going to say that it's easy, but I'm going to say that it's something that you can do it, And then sometimes, because you're not expecting it, the artists are right there in front of you. All you got to do is just kind of, like for example, when I saw the Utopia with the Tubes, I got up out of my seat and went down front because I like to be up front, and so I got off to the side stage left, watching. Great show by Utopia. Some people come walking out, and the next thing you know, I'm standing next to Prairie Prince, okay, the drummer from the Tubes, and now he's with Todd Rundgren. Well, I was smart enough to not be rude and wait till the song was over before I said hello. So it was too loud to really converse with him, but it was another one of those moments where I got to, I knew who he was. He was right there. Hey, I'm glad to meet you. Another quick one, when I saw Porcupine Tree up in Seattle a couple years ago. The opening band was a band called Three, and they are friends with Alan White of Yes, so he was a guest at the show. Well, who comes walking through the audience but Alan White before Porcupine Tree? I wasn't the only one that recognized him. One other guy did. So I played it cool and I didn't mob him. I waited. I moved further away. And then I came up and shook his hand and just let him know, much respect. Much respect that you pulled off coming into Yes after Bill Bruford. That's what I told him, I love to tell people, what I'm thinking. When I met the mothers of invention as the grandmothers, and I talked at length with Don Preston, I just made his eyes bug time and time again, which I love to do. I'll admit it. I love it. Suck it up. I love I guess you could call it showing off, okay? I know a little bit about music. I also know that I'm the least expected person in the room to be known about this stuff. Do you understand what I'm saying? Anybody? And so I relish the chance to show what you wouldn't expect from this person. And I blew Don Preston's mind, asking about the Residents and about his first solo album and all this other session work. And his eyes just kept going, plink, plink. You really know a lot about music. And then when I pulled out my escalator over the hill for him to sign, he said, that's when his eyes just bugged. He said, you really know a lot about music. I said, I guess I do. Okay, so last year I got to see Blondie. Now, this is one of those shows where I wanted to meet the band and I wasn't successful. I have strategies, and my strategy didn't work this time. The local opening band for Blondie, they knew who I was. They knew me, but I didn't know them. And a friend of the band said, if you can get so-and-so from the band, he can get you backstage. I never got within proximity to get his attention. Then after the show, I couldn't get anywhere near backstage. So that was one time where I was not successful at all, okay? Roger Waters' The Wall. I saw this, was this last year or the year before? See, 2010. See, they just bleed, the years bleed together for me. And it was amazing. It was an amazing show. Here's my ticket from seeing Peter Gabriel last year, 2011. The New Blood. Excellent. It was just a fantastic show. Anna Bruna, I believe she's from Sweden, opened, and she was also in the band. Wonderful show. Here's my ticket from going out to Los Angeles last year. Yellow Magic Orchestra, Chibo Maro, Buffalo Daughter, and special guest Yoko Ono. First show with my sister Stephanie, with you, Stephanie. Do you have your ticket, Stephanie, still? That means so much to me. Finally went to a show with my sister who I've always loved music with. Who would it be but one of my all-time favorite bands of all time? And it's not because, well, Yellow Magic Orchestra, you people that have heard them know that you could easily dismiss YMO and just, it's, you know, but they mean the world to me, and that's all that matters is what it means to me. And that was so fantastic, Stephanie. I know you watch my videos. It was so fantastic that we could share seeing Yellow Magic Orchestra, seeing Ryuichi Sakamoto play for us and all those other people. High point of my life. I showed it, but I'll show it again. Radiohead with Other Lives. Great show. Great show. Again, I need to look, was it last year or the year before? 2010, okay? In 2010, I went to Chicago for Pierre Boulez's 80th birthday celebration with the Chicago Symphony. So I got, not only did I get to see the concert, but I went to the signing session afterwards, and I was the first and probably the only person that had the balls to just say, hey, Pierre, can I get a picture? He was cool. Yeah. So I have a picture of me and Pierre Boulez. And it was it was unexpected. As I walk over to the table from the line, or rather, as I sit down from getting signed, the security guard starts to hustle over like I'm trouble, which I'm always ready for being black, okay? I don't give a damn if some of y'all think I'm full of shit. This has been my life. Being black, you deal with this shit all the time. Being stereotyped and misperceived, and people ready for trouble or problems because you're black. I know it from experience. And that was another one of them. The guard thought, oh, we have a problem. There's a black man. He's going to assault Mr. Boulez, or whatever he was thinking, you know what I'm saying? And Pierre just waved him away. Loved it. That's one of when those things happen like that, when Pierre Boulez waving the guard, get the fuck back. You're taking a picture. That was better than the whole concert. My good friends, I kept the ticket. Tilly and the Wall. Tilly and the Wall put on great shows. Now that two of them are married and have babies, they have a new album supposedly coming out after Icky Blossoms gets done. I'm curious what it's going to be like, the dynamic has totally changed. They were single girls and a guy having fun. Now it's all married and babies and shit. It ain't gonna be the same. Or is it? We'll see. I had to keep this because it's just one of those things. It's, again, another one of those, I can't even, this wasn't in Omaha. I can't even figure out where this was. Oh, Phoenix, okay. So when Sun Ambulance was on, I've been on 3 tours with Sun Ambulance, and on one of our U.S. tours, we went out west. We played Phoenix, and even though I played the show, they sold tickets, and I said, please, let me have a ticket for my collection. So we played with Colorstone, Coates, and Villa, and Agronomo. Can't remember which one of these bands, but one of these bands blew us away. You know, I'm very honest, you know. You notice how I slag off other people? If I deserve a slagging, I slag myself. I'm not trying to be mean to people. I'm just giving my honest opinion. And in Phoenix, we sucked. I think it was Agronomo. Blew our shit away. Blew me away. And they didn't have any vinyl, so I didn't buy anything. Okay. Another fantastic show. Geez, was it that long ago? Seems like it was just 2 years ago. But apparently it was 4 years ago. My Bloody Valentine. Oh my God. It was not disappointing. And when they went into the half-hour wall of sound, you better believe I got up out of my side area, went down to the main floor, right in front of the speakers with my earplugs in so I wouldn't damage my ears, and my body just rippled. The sound was so strong. It was like getting a massage, being assaulted by sound. It was amazing. Amazing. Okay, get ready for a diss, because I saw it for myself. And Black Crowes. What? Maybe it's just my taste, okay? They can play, but it was like, this must be my taste. I kind of like sticking it to these bands that are so, that I do, okay? I'm going to say it. I like sticking it to these bands with my opinion. I do regard, I'm an egotistical bastard. I regard my opinion highly. I think I know what I'm talking about. I'm not saying you guys don't know what you're talking about that like these bands. What I'm saying is, there's a whole lot more to music than this stuff. And there's a whole lot of this around that everyone's listening to compared to the really excellent stuff I'd like to tell you about. That's what I'm trying to do, is tell you about. We all have our opinions, and some of you people are saying right now, okay, Dereck, shut up, shut up, shut up. I don't have to. I want to give my opinion about this. I wish that more of the world moved away from the Black Crowes type of thing and into something a little more, okay, give me your opinions. Just don't be shitty like people are on other people's channels where they just drop shitty bombs. I'm giving my opinion about the music. I'm not dissing people, and I'm not dissing you. And if I had the chance to meet the Black Crowes, I've said this before, I would be gracious. They're not a bad band. They're just not interesting to me. Okay. This was amazing. Hot Chip and Tortoise in Lawrence, Kansas. And the opening act was excellent too. Likens. Just one man. Fantastic show. Hot Chip can play. They're musicians. They showed it. They can jam. Deerhoof. What more can be said? What can be said about Deerhoof? Fantastic band. Here's one. The Clash of the Titans. I'm so glad I saw this. What year was this? So glad I was there. This was a mind-blowing concert. Bottom of the bill was Alice in Chains. Then we had Anthrax, who were excellent. Then Megadeth, even better. And then the top of the bill. And they took the night. Hands down. Slayer. God, Slayer was so powerful. You know, I'm not into the lyrics, okay? I'm not into that stuff. I can't even hardly understand what they're saying, thank goodness. But the power of that music. And then the red and the blood, the fake blood at the end. Whoo! Talk about power. Talk about a powerful image. Slayer, one of the best shows I've ever seen. Yeah, Slayer, one of the best shows I've ever seen. I've seen 1,000 plus shows. Slayer was one of the best shows. They brought it. I'm just getting high again, thinking about the show. Now, speaking of getting high, here's one from back in the days when I was polysubstancing my ass off. This is 1981. I don't remember this show at all. Joe Walsh. I guess I was there. I don't remember it at all. Now, I do remember seeing Joe Walsh because I saw him before this. I saw him years ago when he was the opening act, when he had just put out The Smoker You Drink, The Player You Get. Played Rocky Mountain Way. It wasn't a hit yet. Wasn't a hit, so we were hearing it before it was known. And it was really powerful, but he was opening for West, Bruce, and Lang. Of course, when Jack Bruce stepped out on stage, I forgot everything else. Jack Bruce was my idol as a teenager. Still have much respect for Jack Bruce. Yeah, so the power of the music is reviving me again. I'm seeing again the time is just disappearing. It's liquid. I saw these guys and really enjoyed it, but I would never buy their records. Fish. Now, somebody could give me some vinyl, I'd keep it. But the way to see this music is live. It's kind of ho-hum after a while on record for me. It's, you know. Here is my ticket stub from one of the times I saw Philip Glass. And this is the time that I saw Philip Glass in Iowa City, and I got to meet him. And not only meet him and get his autograph, but I got to give him a copy of my first 2 EPs, Dereck and Dereck 2, the 7 inches that are gone. Philip Glass has copies. He asked me, Dereck, please, would you autograph these for me? He still has them. I know that. I'm so proud of stuff like that. I love sharing it with you. I saw U2 on the Zeropa tour. Primus opened up for him, and Primus couldn't handle the big stage at the time. They were flat on the big stage. Okay, it didn't work. So, but U2 were they were larger than life. I'm going to give it to them. I'm looking for my concert list so I can talk a little bit more before I go here. They were huge. U2 really put on a big show, and the music was great. So I'm not going to diss U2. I know that it's really. I understand that now it's a fun thing to do, to slag off U2 because he's perceived as being very self-important, and maybe he is. But I really enjoyed U2 when I saw them. Really glad I saw U2. I'm looking at my list here of concerts, and I'm not going to mention them all. I'm just going to kind of scroll through here and see what captures my attention to mention. Okay. So speaking of blues, I've seen Luther Allison quite a few times, and he puts on a hell of a show. Saw him with the 20 or 30-foot guitar cord where he gets off the stage, walks through the audience, goes out the front of the bar, out into the street, and he's still playing. Everyone's going nuts. That's showmanship. That is. Loved that. That was great to see. I've seen Ambrosia live, and it was good. Animal Collective was excellent. I don't remember when that was. Architecture in Helsinki I believe from Australia. I actually opened for them. Family Radio. That's what Indrima used to be. We were called Family Radio, and we were doing a Bright Eyes thing before Nick grew up. But we opened up for Architecture in Helsinki. It was excellent. When I saw Metallica with Cliff Burton, Armored Saint opened up. The guy that ended up singing for Anthrax for a while was still with him. Great show. Great show. Let's keep going. Oh, Brian Auger's Oblivion Express. They opened for Herbie Hancock's Headhunters. Awesome. Let's see. Basshead. Anybody remember Basshead? You know Bakra Bata? I've seen the Beach Boys. Got to say hello to Carl Wilson on the street. Yeah. Beefeater. Let's see here. Blackfoot. I've actually seen Blackfoot, that Southern rock band. And in one of my old rock bands, Full Clip, we actually covered Train, Train. Blind Approach, Blindside, Blink-182, Blood Rock. I'm actually going to read a little bit. I said I wouldn't, but I shouldn't say those things, should I? It's just one of my anomalies. Blue Oyster Cult I've seen twice. Fantastic both times. Tommy Bolin and Energy. I saw Tommy Bolin he played a sock hop at my high school. High as hell on speed. Played his butt off. Was so fun. Hung out with him in the band afterwards. He was just strung on the speed. His tongue went like that the whole time we're talking. Played his ass off. Had the coolest looking rock and roll clothes I had seen up to that point. The big stacked heels, silver, stacked heel boots. They were cooler than fuck. I've seen Tracy Bonham. She was good. Of course, I've seen Bright Eyes. I opened for Bright Eyes. Jackson Browne, fantastic. Jimmy Buffett sucked. It's my opinion. It was one of the few shows I've gone to on a date. The girl insisted, "You're going to have a great time, Dereck." Jimmy Buffett was not for me. I don't like that good time crap. I don't give a fuck about it, you know? The opening act was interesting. I got to see two members of Firesign Theater, Proctor and Bergman. They were good. They were funny. I've seen Gary Burton Group. I've seen Talking Heads, but I didn't see the show. I saw Talking Heads. I saw their sound check. They came to Omaha on their Fear of Music tour. I had a show that night with Digital Sex, so I couldn't go. But my friend Joe Budenholzer, who had his own band at the time, he had a show too. But we sneaked down to the club and watched the sound check and met Tina Weymouth. It was cool. It was cool. Camper Van Beethoven, they were good. Cameo, I actually worked the show Cameo. I helped run monitors. And it was a great show, but it was bogus because Larry Blackman didn't go out with the band. It was all of Cameo with a stand-in drummer, which many bands used to do. Okay, we'll go a little bit further. Capital Punishment, Carl Carlton, Bad Mama Jamma. You know, a lot of my more recent shows I need to add here because I'm realizing here I'm talking about a lot of older bands, but I've seen a lot of recent indie bands like I don't have on here Beach House. I got to put Beach House on there. Okay, saw Beach House. They were great. Let's keep going for a minute here. Eugene Chadbourne, Chairlift are friends of mine. Do y'all know Chairlift? They have a new record out. I need to get it. Charming Deviants, Devo. That was on my birthday that year. July 7th, 1976 or 7. It would have been cool if it was 7/7/77, but I think it was 7/7/76. Amazing show, like the Ramones the first time they played in Omaha. Devo changed Omaha. They changed the music scene in Omaha when they played here. They were phenomenal. I saw Chicago before Terry Kath blew himself away. Christ on Parade were excellent. Cocteau Twins. I met Robin Guthrie on the street. See, that's the thing, you know. He was out taking a walk. Me and my friend Frank are down the street smoking a bowl, you know. I don't mind admitting this shit, even though it's illegal. Stupid, illegal fucking shit. And he's walking down the street. And I, again, knowing, you know, the world that I live in, I knew that I had to approach him carefully because he's a stranger in a strange land. And here's a black person, you know. I can't assume, but I do assume because of history. And so I was very, very careful. Matter of fact, I remember this is what I did. I said, "Frank, hand me my CD." So he's walking, and I'm over off this way, and I said, "Hey, Robin, you know." I waved. He looked over. He looked nervous. He looked at me very nervously, as I expected. And I held up my Victorialand CD. I said, "I'm here for the show. I'm a fan. Can I say hi?" And he came over and hung out with us at the car. He passed on smoking with us because he said he was done with that. But he was very nice. Very nice. Judy Collins. I've actually worked with Judy Collins. Ran sound for Judy Collins. Corrosion of Conformity. Awesome. I've seen Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young with Neil Young. I've seen Neil Young twice solo as well. Woo! Cursive. I played with Cursive. They're friends. Cursive are friends of mine. Matt, the bass player, he may... Oh, I better not say. That's business. Okay. I'm growing up. Seen the DBs with Peter Stamey. Played with the Dead Kennedys. DC3. Death Angel. I saw Death Angel. D-Light with Bootsy and members of Funkadelic. That was a party. That was a sweaty mess. That was just one of the best party shows I've ever seen. D-Light was a party. It wasn't a concert. It was a party. It was incredible. Oh, I love music. I love shows. The Dickies. I saw the Dickies with 999. One more quick one. Dickies were fantastic. It was one of the early punk rock shows for Omaha. Okay, one of the early shows. And the audience, again, we didn't know how to handle it because it was new to us. So the audience went nuts. It was so much fun. Tore the place up, ripping the tables up. People were spitting on each other and throwing drinks. Somebody threw a full pitcher of beer right at the drummer. This was fantastic. God, I wish someone had caught it on tape. The drummer sees the pitcher of beer coming at him, ducks perfectly, and never missed a beat. It was one of those moments I saw. It's like I just saw history. I just saw one of the phenomenons of rock. One of the reasons why rock music is so important. Some of you folks remember that are my age and older. Remember when we were kids how marginalized rock and roll was, and it'll never last, and that it was this bane on society, and now rock is the foundation of everything? That's why I make comments that I make, because I'll be making comments that are off from the mainstream thought of society, knowing that what I'm saying is pretty much correct, and it's just a matter of time before the rest of the world catches up with this, and I'm not saying that egotistically, I'm just stating it because I've been experiencing it over and over again. Okay, a couple more, because man, it's I mentioned Annie DiFranco. Yeah, Jen, if you watch this, I'm surprised I haven't seen anyone showing any Annie DiFranco records. Bring them out, people. She was amazing. She was amazing in concert. The Kreutzen were killer. Dillinger Escape Plan. Al Di Meola. Had drinks with Al Di Meola. Dysrhythmia. Amazing. Dokken. I've seen Dokken twice. George Lynch kicks my ass on guitar. Kicks my ass. Don Caballero. Pfft. I tried to meet the drummer. He just wanted to be impenetrable. You know what I'm saying? He was doing it on purpose. And I just finally said, fuck you, I'll go talk to the rest of the band, Just, I ain't got time to play your word games or whatever the fuck you're doing, Deal with it every day. Okay. Just let me see what else. Doobie Brothers, their original drummer just died. Doughboys, Downy Mildew, DRI, Chris Duarte. I've seen it. Know what I'm talking about when I say what I like and what I don't like. Dynamite Club. Do you guys know that band? Crazy band. Crazy. Effigies. The Elected. I opened for The Elected. Illuvium. Ambience Deluxe. Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Fantastic. Uz Atres. Anybody know them? EUXATRES. I opened for them. No, they opened for us. Uz Atres opened for Family Radio. Explosions in the Sky. Face to Face. The Faint. Well, the Faint are my friends. Fastball. Fiery Furnaces. I said a Firefall. Fishbone. God, I'm looking at these. Flo and Eddie. Sue Foley. She was terrible. Froggy Beaver. Their album is really collectible now. They were a local band. Fuel. They were okay. Let's see. I just want to keep going. I love this. GBH. I told the story years way back. Gene Loves Jezebel. Great show. Dizzy Gillespie. Egberto Gismonti. Wow. Gone. The Grassroots. I played the show. I opened up for the Grassroots. Gravy Train with the exclamation marks. They were so much fun. The Grays. Do you guys know the Grays that came out of Jellyfish? They were fantastic. Larkin Grimm. I played a show with Larkin Grimm. Grim Reaper. Guadalcanal Diary. Hawkwind. Hawkwind with Lemmy. They were stoned out of their minds and brought it with Robert Calvert and Stasia with those humongous boobs, drop the top, and they're just all over the place. Titties, bouncing, craziness. Don't be offended, ladies. Breasts. You know what I'm saying? Stassi was letting us see them mammies, y'all. It was like, damn. I'm done. Shit, another half hour. A half hour video. For those, sorry. For others, I hope you enjoy.